to boot it away. And this is Titus Mokiao-Atimalala on the return. He's across the 20, makes a cut to the outside, a stiff arm of the defender, and he is ushered out of bounds near the 40 for fantastic starting field position. They've run it really well in the two wings, averaging 40 points per game the last 2 weeks. It's Iamaleava who zips it out to the sideline, and it's pulled in by Rico Flores for 5 yards. He wants to throw it again, swings it out to his running back, Jalen Berger, who is pummeled. Iamaleava under pressure, uses the legs. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it as Trey Reddick tracks him down to bring up 4th down. Will Carroll to punt it away. Oh, they got back to him, but he just got it off in time. And it's touched up inside the 10 after a 47-yard punt from Will Carroll. A Maryland kid who decided to stay home, rolls out on 1st down, slings it out to his running back Nolan Ray, but it was behind him and an incomplete pass to start the day. But there is a flag thrown at the end of the play that we'll have to check on.
Pass interference, offense number 5. Half the distance to the goal from the previous 5. 1st down.
Nolan Ray with the carry, patient run in the backfield, and he got drilled backwards by Jacob Busick. 3rd down, snaps it to the far sideline, it's knocked away. Bryce McPherson standing inside his own end zone to punt it away. Mikey Matthews lets it bounce. And it does take a really nice Maryland hop and roll down to the 30. Iamaleava keeps it, fires against his body downfield. It's a 3-and-out to start the day for UCLA, trying to keep the offense on the field. Iamaleava takes the check down. It's Javian Thomas, who they call Jet, picks up 9 and makes this 3rd down very manageable. The give, Thomas straight up the gut, and that's enough for today's first down. Thomas with a 3rd consecutive touch, plunges down to the 45. Berger brings up 3rd down. Berger moves the chains once again as he spins away from tacklers down to the 42. Berger, nice juke, and he jumps down inside the 40.
I think Jerry Neuheisel just has a really good idea of what these guys are capable of doing.
Iamaleava is batted down at the line of scrimmage. It's an incompletion, and it's a 3rd and long coming up for the Bruins. It's Rico Flores, the wide receiver, who's down.
Like he just popped right up. Good to see.
2 3rd-down conversions on this drive, trying to make it 3. Iamaleava throws it behind his intended target, and it brings up 4th down. Mateen Bhaghani, who's out to attempt a 55-yarder.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
He's made from as long as 54 this season, but I imagine that might push them out of field goal range. Delay a game would make it a 60-yarder now.
I mean, that's inexcusable. Yeah. You can't take yourself out of field goal range with a delay a game, especially when you know that you're going to be kicking it.
So Will Carroll has to come out for the 2nd time in as many drives today. Jalil Farouk lets it fly behind his head, and again UCLA touches it up inside the 10. DeJuan Williams' first carry of the game as he goes straight up the middle. It gives them a little bit of breathing room down to the 9 for 3 yards. Williams, a 2nd straight carry, got stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. 3rd down. Washington over the middle. It's caught. Shalik Knotts to the near side. He picks up Maryland's first down of the afternoon to keep the drive going on a pickup of 16. Washington has time down the seam. It's incomplete. He wanted Octavian Smith. Sidearm throw. That's Knotts with his 2nd catch of the drive. Twisting away from tacklers, and he's into UCLA territory down to the 43. 32 yards from Washington to Knotts. First snap in UCLA territory today. They go end around with Octavian Smith, who got crushed. Williams with a patient run, stutter steps behind his line. It's a short pickup. Third down, the freshman, Washington, climbing the pocket, activates the legs, stretches to the near side.
First down did a nice job picking it up.
Kayshawn Bennett came flying in to take down Deshaun Williams. DeJuan Williams taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Second and long. Washington looking right the whole way. He connects with his target. That's Jalil Farouk's first catch, and he's down to the 30. A possession that started at their own 6th. The 11th play of the drive, drops it off over the middle on a crossing route to Caleb Webb, who is taken down at the 20, and that's enough to move the chains on a 3rd and 9. Washington batted down and nearly intercepted. Play number 13 is a run. Nolan Ray squeezing between the defense down to the 17. Already 3 third down conversions this drive. Washington flush to the right, fires on their own end zone, and there is a flag.
Pass interference, defense number 18. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line with an automatic first down.
First and goal. DeJuan Williams trying to follow his right tackle, and he's ripped backwards. Great penetration from that UCLA front to keep him out of the end zone. Ball at the 3, about to have their 15th play of the drive.
And this is exactly what offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton wants. Come out with that tempo out of the huddle.
It's DeJuan Williams off the toss. Great job in the open field by UCLA's defense. Cole Martin started it. Roderick Pleasant finished it. See if that defense can keep him out of the end zone.
Watch Washington's legs here.
Empty backfield. It's the arm. Fade to the corner. Broken up. Sean O'Hare from 24 yards out. Drives it straight through, and that is the first score of the game. Mike Loxley's team up 3-0 on the road. Mokiao Ati-Malala with the return. He stumbles out of bounds near the 30. Iamaleava snaps it to the sideline. That's Quasi Gilmer, the leading receiver for UCLA. His first catch of the afternoon goes for 5. Play clock down to 3. Iamaleava right over the middle and wide open man. It's a first down for UCLA. That upset win over Penn State and a road win at Michigan State. Frias, bust loose. There he goes. Foot race. Touchdown UCLA. A quick strike response from UCLA as the point after is straight down the middle. We had no score after the first 15 minutes. 10 points scored in the matter of 2 minutes and 55 seconds to open the second quarter. And it's a flea flicker on the first play. Washington launches downfield and passes nearly intercepted.
Good coverage there by the Bruin defense.
Quick screen. Farouk on the near sideline, squeezing between 2 defenders, and he picks up 7 before Key Lawrence is in on a second consecutive play. He called that Penn State win contagious. He said he wants that feeling more. Washington steps up. It's incomplete, looking for Shalik Knotts, and 4th down. UCLA's defense with the stop, and the punt unit comes out for the Terps. Bryce McPherson boots it away. This is Mikey Matthews, lets it fly behind him. It's a direct snap to Jalen Berger, the running back, who gets crushed as he crosses the 10 for 5 yards. Iamaleava hands it off, and Berger gets ripped down by the ankles. That's Daniel Wingate with the stop, and it's 3rd down coming up for the Bruins. Iamaleava, collapsing pocket. Skates away. He's got a first down, but the flag is thrown, and that might be in the vicinity of a holding against the Bruins.
Holding. Offense number 77.
Oh, it's a
half
tackle.
distance to the goal. 3rd down.
Swings it out. Frias makes one man miss, and then he gets wrapped up and pushed out of bounds shy of the 10. It's 4th down. Maryland does send the house. Carroll gets it away with ease. Farouk from inside midfield has a little bit of space, and he returns it to the plus 42. Iverson Howard's first carry. The true freshman is swung to the ground by Jalen Woods. Washington sets, throws to the sideline. That's caught by Octavian Smith for a short pickup. Still 3rd and long coming up for the Terps. That defense trying to force a 3 and out, and that pass is thrown behind Shalik Knotts. Roderick Pleasant was right there regardless for UCLA. It's 4th and 8. 3rd 3 and out today for Maryland. They took over in UCLA territory, but unable to make anything of it, and that punt flies out of bounds.
When he was a starting pitcher, Shohei's something special.
This is Jet with the carry. It's a short pickup of a yard. 3 for 3, 3 home runs, 6 scoreless innings, 10 strikeouts is not humanly possible, I don't think, but somehow it was.
What a crazy stat line, right?
Iamaleava flushed out to the right. Surveying, can't make anything happen. He gets shoved out of bounds after a short pickup. See if Nico and this UCLA offense can stay on the field. He spins away from what would have been a sack, and now he's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Daniel Wingate's there for the sack, along with Nasir Taylor for a loss of 5, and it's 4th down. There is a flag.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 3. Half the distance to the goal. It is 4th down, and that is number 3's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Carroll boots it away, and it is a great punt.
Don't do it.
Takes an extra hop in favor of UCLA, where it's touchdown to 34.
You know, we were talking about Mike Loxley, and being a head coach that's now not calling the offensive plays, I think he has a much better pulse for the team and has really been able to pick up on little things and which players to reach out to.
Handoff, this is Williams, and he stopped right at the line to gain. You had asked him earlier this week too, Rob. You said, what's been the biggest change about you from last year to this year? And he said, quite simply, I'm listening more. I was too buried in practice sheets and scripts, and now I've been very intentional about creating relationships with my players.
Yeah, and it was just a great story. We talked about seeing a player look like he was upset at practice, and we wrote a little note to himself on his pad and made it a point to reach out to that player and see what was going on. And with so many young players, 21 freshmen on this team, that's so important.
Washington, just 2 of his last 7, pumps, completes the pass across the 40. That's Dorian Fleming, the tight end's first catch of the day. It's 3rd and short for the Terrapins after a 9-yard gain. Williams tried to bounce it to the left. I think he's short. Keanu Williams, the redshirt senior, got into the backfield for the stop. They go, and it's a 1st down. Williams sidestepping a defender, carries the defense with him inside the 35. On 4th and 1, Williams got 23.
Great play on 4th down.
They fake it to him. Washington has time, sidearm delivery to Williams, lost the football, UCLA's got it. Isaiah Chisholm punched it out, John Vaughn's recovered, and the Bruins have the football.
Well, they are going to take a look at it, but it looked like he had clear possession.
Ruling on the field on the previous play was catch, fumble, recovery, defense. That ruling is under further review. After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field of catch, fumble, recovery, UCLA is upheld. 1st down, UCLA.
Well, there you go. The fumble is upheld, meaning the nation's #1 team in turnover margin at +10 has just given it away, and at least for today, they are -1. This is Anthony Woods. He was a game-time decision leading into today. His first carry is a loss of 1 as Wingate gets into the backfield. Iamaleava has a clean pocket, zips it over the middle. That's Gilmore, who captures it near midfield. 1st down, UCLA. So while we were at the break, they announced they're going to take a look at a potential targeting on Trey Reddick for that last hit before the timeout of Quasi Gilmore coming over the middle.
Yeah, and with a defenseless player, doesn't have to be with the crown of the helmet. Looks like he lowers his helmet, gets into Gilmer. Seems like he's making contact into the head and neck area, right into the helmet.
After reviewing the play, there is a personal foul targeting Maryland number 3, contact to a defenseless player into the head and neck area. The 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. Number 3 is disqualified from the remainder of the competition.
Wow, Trey Reddick is out. Mike Pereira with us. Mike, is that what you saw as well?
Yeah, although I think he has completed the catch, he did get a body part down. He still is considered defenseless until that time frame where he can actually protect himself and ward off contact. And to me, being defenseless, leading with the shoulder to the head or neck area is targeting, and I do believe that's the right call.
Mike, that is a big loss for Maryland, who is already without Zaire Mathis, their true freshman linebacker. They're now down a second linebacker as Trey Reddick is out. First down after the 23-yard pass play. Jalen Berger slips away from a tackler, gets a couple extra yards on the second effort. Iamaleava hit as he throws into one-on-one coverage, and that is way too far for Rico Flores. Wingate had the hit on the throw of Nico Iamaleava. 3 of 7 on third down today. Driving in Maryland territory. UCLA's offense trying to stay on the field. Handed off to Berger, who lowers the shoulder down to the 25. That's enough for a first down. 3-touchdown game against his former team last week, a Michigan State transfer, and he's had a nice drive here. Iamaleava escapes pressure, sliding past a couple, zips it on the run, and pass is intercepted. Jalen Husky's 3rd pick of the season, and now Maryland has a nation-leading 11th pick. You had mentioned that point earlier in the game, that low arm slot for Nico Iamaleava. This time it forces a turnover. Quick pass on the screen. Farouk turns it upfield, and he's spun down just shy of the 20. That is enough for a first down, though, for the Terrapins. Going tempo with under a minute to go. Pumps once, completes it to Nolan Ray, and a crushing hit.
I've told this story before, and like the first time it happened to me, it happened on Sunday Night Football, and got the wind knocked out of me, and it had never happened to me before, and I couldn't breathe, right? And I'm, I catch my breath, of course. I'm walking back to the sideline, and I'm laughing. They're like, "What are you laughing about?" I said, "I thought I was going to die on national TV 10 seconds ago." That's pretty funny.
Some people have a different definition of funny, I suppose. "44 seconds before halftime. Maryland trying to drive deep into their own territory. Screen pass, Octavian Smith spins to the outside, turns the corner, runs out of bounds, stops the clock with 40 seconds to play before halftime. Washington, plenty of time, scans, fires down the seam, and it is incomplete. There is a flag, though. Was looking for Octavian Smith. Robert Stafford III had the
Pass
coverage.
interference, defense number 3. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Washington drops it off. DeJuan Williams ripped down in a nice open field tackle that time by Jalen Woods. Second down. Washington to the far side, has an open man. Oh, it was almost intercepted. Scooter Jackson came flying in at the last moment to break up what could have been a huge gain. Play clock winding down to 5. Maryland has to take a timeout. And Mike Loxley is not happy that he had to take one when the clock was stopped. Washington uses the legs, slips away from one, makes a cut. He's got a first down. The clock will stop momentarily at 18 seconds. Washington fires against his body to the sideline to Williams, and he made the catch. Wow. Play clock down to 2. Washington stepping up, gets away. He's got space. Washington out of bounds, just shy of the 40 with 3 seconds to go.
All kinds of space.
Final play. Washington sets, lofts it towards the end zone, looking for a score right before halftime.
Oh.
And it's incomplete.
They've really confused the opposing side. Credit to both of those guys.
Yeah, the defensive coordinators have been phenomenal with the way that they've drawn up the schemes today. It is Maryland football to open up this second half after they won the toss, elected to defer. Washington wants to throw in the opening play of the quarter. That's through the hands of Nolan Ray, the running back, to bring up second down. Second down, Washington, all kinds of time. Now flush right, pumps, uses the legs, tiptoes the sideline, picks up something on a play that looked like nothing for a while. UCLA defense trying to force the 4th 3-and-out of this game. Washington climbs the pocket. That is way too high for Jalil Farouk. And UCLA's defense does have a 3-and-out to start the third quarter. Giving up just 3 points through the first half plus of this game. Punt is reeled in, and Mikey Matthews is ripped out of bounds immediately after a 51-yard punt. Nico Iamaleava takes over first drive of this third quarter for UCLA. Gives the football off. Jalen Berger continues to churn the legs down to the 24. He picks up 6. One more time to Berger. This time he's stacked up at the 25. Rolled out, pass is complete. That's Rico Flores. He's got the first down, and the Bruins keep the drive going after a 10-yard pickup. Berger with just 1 yard. Spoiler alert, they were not one-hit wonders. Backed it up with a big win over Michigan State. That is incomplete. He was looking for Mokiao Atimalala over the middle, and it was Jalen Husky, who already has an interception today, was able to break up the pass. It's been great for Maryland. Iamaleava zips it near side. Mokiao Atimalala, after not hauling in the last one, does reel this one in for 6 yards. Bruins did pick up 1 first down that drive, but it ends up stalling out, and Will Carroll's out there for the 5th time today to punt it away. Jalil Farouk lets it fly over its head and just snuck inside the pylon. Blake Washington quick on a screen pass. It's reeled in by Dewan Williams, who gets upended near the 40, but it's a first down on a big play to start the drive. 19 yards. Washington snaps it over the middle. It's caught. Shalik Knotts with the reception, 6 more yards. To give this time to Ray, trying to bounce outside. He got swallowed up at the line of scrimmage.
Third down, give him the freedom to get his guys into position. Make sure he has the right play dialed up, man-to-man up top.
Washington looking left instead, off his back foot, floats it down the sideline, and now Maryland is just 1 of its last 7 on third down. Punt unit coming on the field for the Terrapins. A fair catch called for at the 15, which is where the Bruins will start. Iamaleava over the top of his intended target, might have been deflected at the line. Iamaleava holds on to the football this time, trying to skate past the defender. Iamaleava looking left the whole way. That is too low for the intended target, Frias, or rather Flores. No fake this time. 4th 3-and-out leads to the punt. Farouk at the 30, turns the corner. Great return, tripped up, stays on his feet, and then looked out. He got pummeled after a 19-yard return.
Watch Washington's legs.
Ooh, Washington throws, it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Williams, the running back, on the screen pass, bouncing away from tacklers, and then he's stacked up at the 48 as Maryland goes into UCLA territory. Can they avoid back-to-back 3-and-outs? Underneath, Williams is open in space, down the sideline. Twisted, stays on his feet, and finally swung to the ground inside the 10.
It's
Williams, this time on the ground after the 42-yard reception.
Any offensive coordinator will tell you, you get in the red zone, you want to at least have the ability to run the football consistently to get that thing in.
Washington looking to throw, back of the end zone, incomplete. He threw it a little bit behind Farouk, and that allowed Roderick Pleasant to make a play on the football. 3rd and goal. Washington rolling right, zips it to the sideline. It's caught, but 2 yards shy of the goal line by Dorian Fleming.
Get a play dialed up here, try and give yourself an opportunity for a touchdown. Man-to-man on the bottom of the screen.
4th and goal from the 2. Washington flips it back of the end zone, and it's knocked away. Andre Jordan bets the football away on a 4th and goal to keep Maryland off the scoreboard.
Not his first rodeo, right? You play what's called a banjo coverage out there, and basically what you're doing is you're having the defensive backs switch responsibilities right where they need to be.
UCLA's defense got the stop on 4th and goal, so they are backed up against their own goal line, and Jalen Berger only gives them a couple more yards of wiggle room. Iamaleava fakes the handoff, pass is intercepted, it's a pick 6. Jamari Glasker puts Maryland in front. That'll back up the point after try for Maryland.
False start. Kicking teams, number 46 and number 71. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay the try.
Point after try is there, and Maryland extends the lead to a field goal after an 8-yard pick 6 for Glasker, which is the 14th interception this season for Maryland. Their 4th pick 6. Both of those numbers lead the country.
I love the way Glasker plays too. I mean, he's physical out there at corner, and he had a penalty a week ago, and he comes back and he has a tackle for loss right away, then gets beat on a touchdown, comes back with an interception. Guy's just a player.
Frias on the return. He has a 55-yard rushing touchdown today, but he's ripped to the ground just across the 25.
It's pretty clear both of these defensive coordinators are trying to change pictures after the snap.
It's a handoff to Berger. Plows through that defense, and he picks up 6. Iamaleava lets it rip over the middle. It's pulled in. Mokiao Atimalala ripped out of bounds. Big play strike for UCLA. Looking to quickly respond after the pick 6 by Maryland. Dumped out into the flat. Hudson Havermill was upended. Football came loose. Maryland says they have it.
Havermill on the field in a lot of pain.
2nd and 11. Iamaleava to the near side. Pass is pulled in inside the 15. Mokiao Atimalala's 2nd big catch of the drive. This one goes for 23. Frias tries to cut upfield. Picks up a couple yards of that penalty yardage back after the 2nd holding against Cortland Ford today. Wiped away what was a 23-yard completion. Let's see what they got. Iamaleava climbing the pocket, nowhere to go, cannot escape. A swarm of white jerseys bring down Iamaleava. Farouk lets it fly over his head. It's a touchback. First time Maryland has had the football while having the lead today. They keep it on the ground, and DeJuan Williams is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage.
So the success of the run game is by getting people just a little bit out of position. Saw that late motion that time, run up the middle. I think you'll see that action later again.
Play action, zips it outside. Octavian Smith Jr. bounced off the tackle, and he picked up just 1 yard. It's Roderick Pleasant, who we've been saying his name all night, making the play.
Yeah, we certainly have. And we talked again, defensive coordinator Kevin Coyle coming over and installing this new defense and, you know, kind of adding layers to it. And again, credit Tim Skipper as well.
turn that trend around this week and get a Big Ten road win. Washington dumps it off. Williams out of the backfield, drags the defender with him down to the 28, and it is 4th down for the Terps.
UCLA, once again, Kevin Coyle, the defensive coordinator, has done a tremendous job preparing these guys for those types of situations. Just come up, wrap up, make the stop.
The defense has been spectacular for UCLA. The only Maryland touchdown today came on a pick 6. The offense has not scored a touchdown.
This point in the game, it's about players, not plays, as Jerry Neuheiser says.
Iamaleava throws that off the helmet of the defender, and there is a flag thrown.
Iamaleava was a little bit behind on that
Holding.
throw.
Defense number 27. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
We're in a good spot for an acting career, by the way. Berger bouncing left side, cuts back upfield. He's got a 1st down. There is a flag. Stumbling down the sideline. He gets shoved out inside the 30, but again, a marker near midfield. It's a 34-yard run for the time being.
During the run, block in the back. Offense number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
It didn't even look like Quasi was getting the block on the outside. Or that official's reacting to seeing the player go on the ground and makes that call. That is, I mean, we've seen some bad calls.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't know that I've seen one worse than that.
Yeah, that might be the worst call we've had in any of our games this year. Iamaleava steps up, uses the legs, picks up the 1st down anyways. Ball don't lie, as they say. It's Bryce Jenkins, true freshman. One of many that Maryland plays, who's down on the ground, slow to get up after the 27-yard run by Nico Iamaleava. Fakes the handoff. Iamaleava hit as he throws. Looked like his arm was going back, and Maryland's got the football. The spectacular freshman Sidney Stewart got his hand on there on the throw, and D.D. Holmes has the recovery.
See what the call is here.
Timeout on the field.
They're going to take a look at it and see if that arm's coming forward, but you can see Stewart just fighting his way.
Oh, ball's going back, right?
It looks, looks like it's an empty hand that comes forward. And I know that there's somebody in a really sharp suit, a rules expert. They have an expert opinion, but it looks like Nico, that arm comes forward with an empty hand because...
The ruling on the field was fumble recovery defense. That ruling is under further review.
It's under further review, but it looks like Stewart gets that hand on Iamaleava's arm, and Nico's hand comes forward without the ball.
And then Holmes, the redshirt freshman,
reviewing the play, the ruling
it.
on the field of fumble recovery defense is upheld. 1st down, Maryland.
Just as Mike said, just as you said, Robert, it looked like, especially with the call on the field being fumble, that would be upheld.
Yeah, but I think when you come forward with an empty hand like that, that's kind of the definition of a fumble, and certainly nothing on the replay to say otherwise.
Turnovers have been killer for Tim Skipper's team. After none in the previous 3 weeks, that is now their 3rd of this game. 2 of them in the second half.
The UCLA fans are like, yeah, you guys got that call right. What about the block in the back?
Keep it on the ground with Nolan Ray. This drive starting in UCLA territory.
But then get the change-up looks with 3-by-1 formations like this.
Washington zips it over the middle, and it was broken up. Roderick Pleasant again. How many times can you say his name in one game?
UCLA, a little bit of confusion.
3rd and 8. Off his back foot, floats it into double coverage, incomplete. Wanted Shalik Knotts. Key Lawrence was there on the back end for UCLA.
Quarterback's walking up to the line of scrimmage.
6th 3 and out for Maryland. Mikey Matthews calls for the fair catch at the 10, and the Bruins do not allow the turnover to hurt them.
Execution becomes so important.
This is Berger with a patient run, hopping behind that line. He gets just a yard, maybe, no gain. Not that you want to see anybody down, but if you're a Maryland fan, your leading tackler, second most tackles in the Big Ten as well, and he's been in on play after play for Mike Loxley's team tonight.
It's a violent game. We know that. We could see Wingate walking off under his own power, but certainly not putting all the weight on his left foot, it looks like.
But we've got a great 11:35 to go. Iamaleava connects with Hudson Habermill. Great to see him back on the field after he went out 2 drives ago with an injury.
So good to see a guy like that that's just been through so much as a Bruin to be back in the game.
Fake the handoff to Berger. Iamaleava hit as he throws, completes the pass. It's a first down for UCLA down to the 35.
Nice job layering that throw.
Iamaleava floats it into one-on-one coverage on the sideline, incomplete. He had Gilmer for 17 yards last time, but this one falls incomplete. Iamaleava into a tight window, completes the pass. Mokiao Atimalala into Maryland territory for a first down.
False start. Offense number 64. 5-yard penalty. First down.
First and 15. Frias. Straight up the middle. It gets all of the penalty yardage back, and it brings up 2nd and 10.
That don't utilize the best of their skills. Very good at duo, and that's what they run again.
Under pressure. Iamaleava spun down inside the 40. Great usage of the legs to pick up 7 and make this third down a lot more manageable. Give to Berger. Stood up after just a 1-yard pickup. It is 4th down. And the offense staying put right now for the Bruins until now.
Fans not too happy about it. Of course, we know that they've been running a lot of fakes. Oh, it's a
field goal attempts.
Wow, that's a long one.
Bhaghani's season long is 54. This would be a 56-yarder. They trotted him out in the first half for a 55-yarder, but a penalty backed him up. They decided to punt instead. 56-yarder to tie it. Bhaghani drives it. And he just missed it. Oh, wide to the left. Handoff. This is Williams. Bounces right side. Best run play of the night. Williams is into UCLA territory, and the Terps have something rolling.
Turbo huddle again.
With the pace, they give it to Williams once again after the 13-yard run. He has 3 more. Washington stands in the pocket, and it goes right through the hands of Jalil Farouk. Big moment for the UCLA defense, trying to get a 3rd down stop. Washington scans, back foot, pass caught, and it's well short. About 4 yards shy of the marker for A.J. Szymanski, the tight end, making his first catch tonight. Another punt for McPherson. Maryland trying to flip field position here, but they can't. That's a touchback. Iamaleava, quick pass on the slant. It's caught. It's a first down. Mikey Matthews swung to the ground after 14 yards, and that's a great opening play of the drive for UCLA. Up tempo, Iamaleava floating it into one-on-one coverage for Matthews again. Couldn't pull it in, but there is a flag. Dante Joyner had the coverage.
And Joyner just can't locate that football, and we see so many times.
Pass interference, defense number 6. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
We got 2 Oscars being handed out for some performances tonight.
Just outside of midfield, Iamaleava launching it near sideline too far.
sometimes you need to step back a little bit to give yourself an opportunity to step in the throw so you don't have those overthrows.
Iamaleava, incomplete. 3rd and 10. Iamaleava, that's almost intercepted. It's Dante Joyner, who's been so good for Maryland. One of their starting cornerbacks limping off the field.
Yeah, you hope that's just a cramp.
4th and 10, offense stays on the field. Iamaleava scans, fires a dart over the middle. It's caught for a first down, but then a crushing hit applied by Jalen Husky on Quasi Gilmer. Flag thrown 2.
Yeah, of course, thinking this is going to be targeting defenseless player, hit to the head and neck area, and Husky.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 22. 15-yard penalty. The play is under further review.
Boy, you can see Husky needing the help to get off the field as well. And then might not have been a good idea to get him back into the game. But of course, with a targeting call, he's going to be out for the rest of this game in the first half next week.
The targeting on defender number 22 is upheld. The 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run. Number 22 is disqualified from the remainder of the contest.
But you're literally talking life and death with some of those hits.
In the red zone, it's a handoff to Berger, and he just got tripped up at the ankles.
For those crucial red zone yards.
They give him one more touch, and he got drilled backwards, but a second push gives him 2 yards. Iamaleava looking to throw, zips it to the end zone, touchdown Mikey Matthews. UCLA goes in front with 3:33 to play on the passing touchdown. A 14-yard strike to Mikey Matthews. Iverson Howard at the goal line on the return. And he gets stopped shy of the 15. Great coverage on the kick return by UCLA. Screen pass, Octavian Smith with a block from one of his receivers is swung to the ground across the 20 by Key Lawrence. Drops it off behind the receiver, it's picked off. Through the hands of Caleb Webb, picked off by Scooter Jackson. Berger is drilled right at the line of scrimmage. Really fun stories of college football over the last 3 weeks. Looks like a false start.
False start. Offense number 72. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So they can still try a field goal, go up 7.
Iamaleava throws, passes caught. That's Flores. Stays in bounds, but no pickup. Great job by Maryland's defense.
Double move would really get him here.
They are going to throw. Iamaleava throws it into the grounds. Sidney Stewart came in off the backside, and that's Nico Iamaleava, who is really slow to get up, holding on to that knee.
Boy, that knee got driven directly into the turf. Great to see him get up here.
Such a great kid. Having to be helped off the field. Good snap and hold. Bhaghani's kick on the way. He drives it straight through the middle. Touchback is great news for Maryland there. Without the return, no time comes off the clock, so they still have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout for the true freshman Malik Washington.
Washington's legs.
Washington's legs. There you go. Takes off. And he's got the first down. 2 timeouts left. Malik Washington, the true freshman quarterback, floats it over the top. That's Williams. He gets punished out of bounds. Empty backfield. Washington, time, zips it to the sideline, incomplete. 3rd down, Williams straight up the middle has the first down, which will momentarily stop the clock, and it's a fresh set of downs for the Terrapins. Washington staring left to the sideline. Reeled in, short pickup. Washington fakes, takes off, scampers away from a tackle. He's got a first down with a block in front. Washington down the sideline. He stepped out of bounds at the 23. 1:24 to play, first down from the 23. Washington fires towards the goal line. Incomplete, no flag. Washington lets it rip, crossed his body. Dorian Fleming's got it, and a nice open field tackle after a short pickup by Key Lawrence.
Short motion.
Washington rolls right, escaping the pocket, tucks it, now throws the last moment to Smith, and they say incomplete. Did not get his feet in, and there's a flag in the end zone.
Holding, defense number 2.
Neither one. It's Andre Jordan.
Goal, automatic first down.
This Knox is trying to get back to the ball.
Washington looking, end zone back, corner, sliding play, touchdown, Jalil Farouk, an extra point away from tying the game with 40 seconds to go.
With the kicker who missed the field goal earlier.
That one is right down the middle to tie this game at 17 with 40 seconds to go. The true freshman quarterback was sensational on that drive. Frias on the return just outside of the 10. Crosses the 25. So UCLA, 2 timeouts, 35 seconds to go. Mateen Bhaghani's season long is from 54 yards.
Keep everything in front of you.
Iamaleava stepping up in the pocket. Pass was deflected on the throw. Iamaleava drops it off. Pass is caught. It's a first down.
Still can do some damage with his legs.
Looks to throw. Fires. Far sideline. It's caught. First down. Back-to-back catches for Mokiao Atimalala into Maryland territory.
A few more yards and they're in field goal range.
The give to Frias. Oh, he's got a lot of space. Frias across the 20. Still on his feet. At the 5, he's finally dragged down. Wow. Anthony Frias. Big-time run. 23-yard attempt to win it for Mateen Bhaghani. Good snap and hold. Here's the kick from 23. He got it! Walk-off